Okay, guys, we are continuing. This is part 4. Now, verse 8. No, not verse 8. We've already spoken about verse 8. But before we get to that, Paul says that the husband should fulfill his marital duty to his wife, and likewise to the wife, to the husband. The wife does not have authority over her own body, but yields to her husband. In the same way, the husband does not have authority over his own body, but yields to his wife. Do not deprive each other, except perhaps by mutual consent and for a time, so that you may devote yourselves to prayer. Then come together again, so that Satan will not tempt you because of your lack of self-control. I say this as a concession, not as a command. I wish that all of you were as I am, but each of you has his own gift from God. One has this gift, another has that. Now, guys, we need to realize, you find people saying that, particularly women, I'm an independent woman, and yet you find out that people are married. How can you be an independent woman when you are married? I mean, hello. I mean, guys, just because it sounds nice, if it's not it, don't say it. Guys, the world is just really filled with foolish people. They had one stupid person who was married who said that they were independent, and everything just followed and said that nonsense. If you are married, you're not independent. 1 Corinthians 11 verse 3 says, the head of Christ is God, the head of man is Christ, and the head of woman is man. There is this thing called hierarchy, meaning that there is order in the kingdom of heaven. Everyone is under authority. There is no independency in the kingdom of heaven. You need to understand that there is no independency in the kingdom of heaven. If you are a woman, you are to submit under a man. It's okay if you belong to a church, but I'm pretty sure there are churches which are not in line with submission. Well, its church doesn't matter. Churches don't even belong to Jesus anyway. But in his kingdom, if you belong to his kingdom, you need to know that you are under authority. There is this straight line of authority. You submit under a man who also submit under Jesus, and Jesus who also submit under God. You understand? So it's only daddy who doesn't submit under anyone, because Jesus also submits under daddy. As much as he is a God, he submits under daddy, and men are to submit under Jesus, and women are to submit under a man. So this nonsense of women, I'm an independent woman, that's nonsense from the pit of hell. Don't get married. And the mere fact that you've got even a boyfriend, let's say you've got a boyfriend and you say, I'm an independent woman, you can't live without a man. That's why you've got a man. So don't use that phrase. It's not for you. It's not for you. That phrase should be used by someone who is not in a relationship with a male. Then they can say, I'm an independent woman. Why? You're not dependent on a man. You are, because you have that boyfriend. You understand? And guys, I know this one is off this topic, but you find people sometimes trying to submit to their boyfriends. Nowhere does it say submit to your boyfriend. Let me just make it clear. Guys, sometimes this nonsense of this world, guys, I always say this, here on earth, there is no advertisement, as if like we applied to enter here on earth. Here on earth, guys, some people simply have sex. It's not even a decision. Then you pop up, you spring up. You understand? Now, because of that, here on earth, anything goes. Anything goes. So you find people here on earth having I've got one boyfriend, I've got one girlfriend, as if like that one is allowed by the men upstairs. It doesn't even allow that. I'm sleeping with one person at a time. So, you know what I mean? So just because it is done, guys, there are things that are okay for the people of the world, not okay for the people who belong to the kingdom of heaven. Sometimes you often hear people calling themselves, I'm a Christian, my leg. And they will tell you that they only have one sexual partner. You're a Christian, you've got one sexual partner. You're not even supposed to be having sexual partner if you're not married. I mean, hello. So you need to realize that there are requirements to enter the kingdom of heaven. If you want to enter the kingdom of heaven, you need to know that you need to obey that man's commands. Recently, after the series of the churches, Wars to the Churches, I was speaking about the fact that there are requirements to enter the kingdom of heaven. If you have not listened to that one, please go listen to that one. Because you see, guys, here, we simply pop up, two people simply have sex, and then we find ourselves here. I did not even want to be here, but I found myself here. And now I have to fight these temptations. and you're telling me that it's a blessing to be here. I have to fight sex outside marriage. I have to fight the love of the things of the world, so I become a non-entity. I have to fight the love of money, so I'm no longer a success story. And you're telling me that it's a blessing. Living like that is not a blessing. It's not a blessing at all. But I'm doing it because I have to enter the kingdom of heaven. You understand? So now, if you're telling me that entering here on earth is like a blessing, well, you've got your own reasons for saying that. For me, it's not, because I have to fight these temptations of this nonsense place. You understand? Now, guys, there are requirements to enter the kingdom of heaven. There are laws of the kingdom of darkness. So if having one partner is okay for this kingdom, it's okay. But it's not about the kingdom of heaven. Guys, the kingdom of heaven, the laws are strict. They are stern. So you have to live by them in order to make it to that kingdom. Besides, Jesus, who is our Lord, also lived by those commands. You understand? So there were things that he didn't do. You understand? So we are obeying the same laws that he also obeyed. So we can't even grumble. You understand? So just because people are having sex and they have one partner, one boyfriend, it's not godly. Let me just tell you straight. Let me just be frank. It's not godly. It's just a worldly thing. Don't take that's why Paul says, do not be yoked together with unbelievers. People who go to church have been yoked together, socializing, with unbelievers. You find them socializing or online with unbelievers or face to face with unbelievers. Hence, they've taken their beliefs and they've died because of that. Because when you socialize with unbelievers, you also die. Does it mean you don't have to speak to them? No, you speak to them. Hi. Just don't socialize with them. Don't be friends with them, because if you become friends with them, you have to make sure that you do the things that they are doing. That's doing what that's also becoming like them. I don't know, guys, if people are not clever like this. It's just beyond my comprehension. I love what David says. He says that I get rid of evildoers so that I can obey your commands. Meaning, I get rid of people who don't obey your commands so that I can obey your commands, because it's difficult to obey that man when you are sticking with people who don't obey his commands. I don't know, guys, if you understand this. So there are things like that. You find ladies saying that I'm an independent woman. Yes, they've got boyfriends. Hello, what nonsense are you talking about? And you find these ones who are married and they also say the same thing, and I'm like, what the heck? What nonsense are you speaking about? Are we talking about? So when you married, you under a husband who is under Jesus and who is under God. It's just one way hierarchy, one way authority. Understand? And Paul said, the wife does not have authority over her own body, but yields to a husband. The same way the husband, same thing, yields to the wife. Do not deprive each other, perhaps by mutual consent and for a time, so that you can pray, so that Satan doesn't, and then come back together, so that Satan does not tempt you. Because if you are burning with passion and you're married and your spouse is refusing to have sex with you, obviously you'll go out, you understand? So they go out and come back with excuses. I told you guys that human beings are nonsense by nature. So you are living with a nonsense. So when you are getting married, you're getting married to a nonsense. So you need to know that when they are burning, give it to them so that they don't go. Well, sometimes you find that even though you're giving it to them, they still go. Well, human beings are nonsense. If you decide to marry, you need to know those things. Dealing with nonsense, you don't know how much knowledge they have. You understand? So if they are empty-minded, overgrown babies, guys, human beings are just overgrown babies. So if you are married to an overgrown baby, the flesh is busy looking for sex outside marriage, yet they are married and you are giving it to them. But because they are overgrown babies, they are empty-minded. It's just the flesh that is grown. The mind is so small that it's like the size of an egg. You understand? So when you are dealing with an overgrown baby, you're going to have to deal with such things. And sometimes, guys, you find the ladies, it's night, they are wearing these long clothes, putting so much clothes as if like they are soldiers. They are wearing these protective gears, and I'm like, what the heck? You've got a live blanket, you've got a physical blanket. Why are you wearing like this, wearing so much? You putting this gown, you putting that, you putting a gown on bed. Hello, guys, you running away from someone from touching you and you're married. Guys, hello. So such things, guys, you need to understand. So you allowed to marry if you are burning with passion. Guys, you are allowed to marry if you are burning with passion. You need to know that you are allowed to marry if you are burning with passion. And give it to your husband, give it to your wife. it's a command from Jesus. You know, if you've got kids, you take them to grandparents, you have sex in the kitchen, in the lounge, TV room, wherever, in the car, you know, wherever you're allowed to do that. And then for a time, you say, well, we need to pray. So, and then come back together later again, so that the people don't go out. Because if you're going out now, that means you are really an overgrown baby. Really an overgrown baby. You've got this person who is giving it to you because your flesh is burning. And now still, even though you have this person, you're still going out. I mean, you really are an overgrown baby. You really are an overgrown baby. You understand? So you guys, you are allowed to do those things. Just make sure that you understand the commands of Jesus. Understand, guys, that you are allowed to do this, you are not allowed to do this. You are allowed to do this, you're not allowed to do this. So this thing of women saying, I'm an independent woman, it doesn't jive with Jesus. It just doesn't dance. Doesn't jive well with Jesus. You understand? So you need to make sure that you understand his laws of the kingdom of heaven, not the laws of churches. Guys, I don't know the laws of churches. I'm not even interested in laws of churches. They don't put people in the kingdom of heaven. I'm interested in the laws of the kingdom of heaven. That's why I listen to Paul. So even Paul, when he says this one is coming from me, not as a command, I take that because Jesus it means that Jesus also allowed that. Even if this one is a concession from Paul, Jesus allowed that. So you take that. You understand? So you are under authority. Your body is your husband's. Your husband's body is your body. Don't say it's my body. Oh, it's my body, I won't do it. If you are married, it's no longer your body. You need to know that. Guys, stop these nice phrases that are nonsensical. They are nice, they sound nice. If they are nonsensical, they are nonsensical. Guys, you know, with me, if I see a nonsense, I tell of it. It's my body, so I won't do it. It's my body, so I'm going to have abortion. It's not your body. Once you marry to give up the I, it's we. It's just the way it is. If you realize that a person is cheating on you, is abusing you, you have to make a decision, and we're going to speak about that in the next. You understand? But it's no longer your body. So if your husband wakes you up in the middle of the night, wake up and you are tired, you're going to give it to him. If your wife wakes you up, you are tired, you're going to give it to him. Why? It's their right. You decided to get married. You understand? So don't blame it on anyone. Guys, we need to understand these things. We need to understand these things. Right? So I'm finishing here. I hope you understood this thing. You know, I don't want to confuse what people are saying, you know, calling themselves independent woman. Nonsense from the pit of hell, from the second heaven where Satan sits with his cohorts and his gangsters. Don't take that nonsense. You take the word of Jesus. At the end of the day, you take the word of Jesus. You're not independent. You are. You are. It's just the way it is. You are dependent to a husband who's dependent to Jesus, who's dependent to God. It's just the way it is. It might not sound good. It's just the way it is. That's one thing I've learned, guys, about the kingdom of heaven. Nothing of it sounds good. You know, guys, nothing of it sounds good. It's so harsh. It's so hard. But if you decided to go there after you leave this place, you live by Jesus' commands. Guys, it's okay if you say you don't believe in Jesus. Just stop carrying a Bible. That's all. Just stop calling on the name of Jesus. That's all. Just don't open a church, open a club. You understand? Just don't claim to be believing in Jesus and preach your own nonsense. That sounds good. It sounds good, granted. I give you that. But if it's not in line with Jesus' command, then it's not. It's just don't bark hyena. I hate hyena bark. People are busy barking hyenas. Churches are busy barking hyenas. You understand? If it doesn't sound like it, it's not it. If it's not a dog bark, it might be a hyena bark. Just don't bark a hyena. Please, guys, please. You know, we belong to the kingdom of heaven. We accept the truth as they are. You know, these shows, we speak about the truth exactly as they are. Those who don't want it, they can leave and go to someone who will lie to you. But at the end of the day, you need to know the truth. At the end of the day, you need to know the truth. You see, with me, guys, I don't mind people hating me for telling the truth. But I do mind for people loving me for telling lies. I don't want that. Rather, you hate me than you love me for telling you lies. Guys, I also want to make it to the kingdom of Jesus. And I'm also a student, a disciple of Jesus. And he also wants to make sure that I tell you the truth. So I need to teach his word. So if you don't want his word, there's nothing I can do about it. There's nothing I can do about it. Guys, we tell it like it is. So next week, guys, until then, Thank you.